Great energy in the room. Hello and welcome to India's first and only official sports poker league, Match Indian Poker League Season 4, powered by Hot Shots Digital. For all the guys back home, gear up, fasten your seatbelts, क्योंकि यहाँ आपको देखने मिलेगा a lot of planning, a lot of strategies, a lot of mind games, and my favorite, a lot of poker faces. लेकिन आगे बढ़ने से पहले जरा रिवाइंड करते हैं और देखते हैं कि हमारे पिछले 3 सीजन्स में क्या-क्या हुआ. Let's take a look at Season 1.
Season 1 champions, can we have you on stage?
Season 2. And of course, Season 3. यहाँ पे we're gonna have 9 teams representing 9 different states. And all of them will be battling it out for that prestigious Match Indian Poker League Season 4 trophy. All right, we're not gonna jinx it anymore. We're just gonna call on our good luck charms. Please put your hands together for the man behind Match Indian Poker League. Yes, I'm talking about the chairman entrepreneur, Mr. Raj Kundra. Yes. Give it up, give it up. And joining him, we have the president of the Indian Match Hold'em Sport Confederation, Mr. Varun Goenka. There you go. Now that we have our main men here, Raj, I'm going to throw the floor open to you. This is Season 4. We're expecting a lot of excitement. We're expecting a lot of great strategies coming out there. If there's anything you'd like to say to these 9 teams that are competing here for that one trophy, what's the one thing you'd like to say to them?
So match poker is a game of skill. Every time somebody says, hey, I'm a gambler, I tell you, if you're a gambler, you're going to lose. This is a game of skill, and all those applying their skills have seen year on year that when you go crazy and start going all in, and think you're going to win, you end up falling flat on your face. So play the sport in the spirit of the sport. We are the only sports poker league in the world, and people are now watching us, and other federations have come forward to ask Varun to copy our blueprint and make Match IPL happen across the world. So hats off to all the 9 owners that have been partners with me, because we created it first. So play the game in the spirit of the game, and I think Varun will add to the rest of this.
Just sort of adding to what Raj said, this has been a really, really good year for match poker. For the first time, we've created a series of events which copies all other international sports. We've created a structure now where we have continental championships through which we provide spots for each continent that has qualified nations that come through to a world final at the end of the year.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. May I request you to please take your seats? And now, friends, it's time for some Bollywood dhamaka. That's right. We're gonna get some amazing performances right here in front of you. And to flag off our very first performance and Match Indian Poker League Season 4, powered by Hot Shots Digital, is the very glamorous, the very talented, and the very beautiful Anita Hasanandani. Give it up for her. All right, guys, this is it. This is where the action begins. All the very best. We're going to start Season 4 of Match Indian Poker League right now. Over to you, Varun.
So I'm going to tell you how match poker is played and why it's a sport. Match poker was a sport devised on duplicate bridge, which is a team sport based on the card game bridge. Match poker is also a team sport, and how it eliminates luck from the game is by duplicating cards across tables. The two main elements of luck in conventional Texas Hold'em are the cards you are dealt as an individual, your whole cards, and the cards that open on the flop. Both these elements are caused due to the random shuffle of a deck of cards. So in match poker, we eliminate this luck by completely duplicating cards across tables. So think about a tournament which has 6 teams and 6 tables with 6 players on each table. You have the same cards being played across the 6 tables and a player from every team on each of the different seat positions on different tables. Thereby, every team is playing every single set of cards. The flop is the same for hand 1 across tables and so on and so forth. The point system is very interesting and very simple to understand. It's cumulative chips per team per hand. So for example, every hand, a team's total chip score is calculated based on the individual net positive or negative chip scores of its players. And that is then compared to all the other teams that are participating. If there are 6 teams participating, every hand points are awarded based on 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. In a situation where 2 teams have the same number of chips, the points are shared. So if 6 and 5 have the same number of chips, then it's 5.5 for both the teams. This then gets added up into the hundreds of hands that we play here or in any other event, and thereby giving you your leaderboard. That's match poker for you. Thank you.
Welcome to Match IPL Season 4. I'm Amit Verma, member of the Haryana Hawks, and with me is Harman Baweja, captain of the Mumbai All Stars.
Hi Amit. Amit also is very famously known as the calculator.
I think that's a name only you gave me. I don't know if you mean it as a pejorative or it's a compliment.
Well, let's just say the way you understand the game, the very few like you out there.
No, thank you. That's kind of you to say so. And this format actually does take a lot of thinking because this is not really regular poker that we play. It's the format is completely different, and you're not thinking in terms of the typical, odds and implied odds and getting as many chips as you can through a session. Instead, you have to think of how your team is doing in every particular hand, and you have to calculate points.
Yeah, I think it sounds very complex once you kind of see it as an overview. But if you are an avid poker player, or if you understand the game of poker, you do realize that the basics of poker, your fundamentals would really come into play if you were to be excelling at Match IPL.
Exactly. I mean, you have to know, you have to already be good at poker to play this game, but at the same time, you have to realize that a lot of the things which are intuitive to a poker player, hands that you would play or hands that you would not play, are not necessarily what works in this format. So it's just a question of adjusting the format and having a team strategy. So did your team follow your strategy, Herman?
Well, I think, let's put it this way, for a consistent amount of time, yes. But if I was to say that every one of us followed the strategy, including myself, unlikely.
Yeah, it's pretty impossible because we're human at the end of the day.
I wish it was easier. All right, we got the first hand going. Wow.
And there you are, Aditya Shetty, a very aggressive player from the Mumbai circuit, but playing for the Bangalore Royals, Ace-Jack, and we should see some action because Lavleen Singh of Delhi has pocket tens, so this should be an action hand.
Yeah, it's quite a interesting draw of table. Aditya Shetty is known to be aggressive. That's Harman. He's relatively weaker player.
Yeah, right. Making a disciplined fold.
Yes, of course. Not much to do with the 9-4. So I guess this would play out standard across most tables.
Yeah.
Wow.
And there's pocket tens, and
that's the best hand on the flop.
And it's been quite pre-flop, and obviously you would expect Aditya to float one street, and there he hits the ace. What are you gonna do? They're both stuck in the hand now.
Yeah, and I don't see Aditya Shetty getting away from this one. Yeah. Oh, he's controlled. I think they've check on the turn, which is
which is rather tricky.
Yeah.
And if Aditya just calls, he goes all in.
Well,
but had he just called, he would actually have saved his team some points because all the teams, you got to note in this format, have pocket tens on some table or the other, and all the teams have ace-jack.
Right.
So you'd expect a cooler to play out and to equalize.
Correct.
And if the tens gets extra chips somewhere, which is really not possible, but if any team can save points with ace-jack,
That would be profitable.
That would be
So
profitable.
it would be cutting down your losses and maximizing your profits would be the basic essence of.
Exactly, but in a hand like this, even to fold ace jack at any point is probably bad. So I think you'd expect all-ins on all
pretty
the
much
tables.
most tables. You'll have to wait and watch. The same hand's playing out on another table now.
Yeah.
So this time you've got Delhi Aces with ace jack.
And Haryana Hawks, my teammate Ishan. And I expect this to be a little more aggressive in terms of, just because they are button and big blind, there's going to be raise 3-bet, 4-bet all in. That's what I feel should happen here, because our man should not be flatting at any point.
Yeah, I also typically feel that a button raise is usually never given the kind of respect it deserves, because you always feel the button's trying to steal the blinds away.
And therefore, when the big blind bets the button, that also gets no respect. And
Right.
here it so happens that both players have the top of their range.
Right. So pretty standard is playing across. Pretty standard is playing across both tables now,
Yep.
as we can see. Well, now I know what made you guys team up the.
Hardly, because every team won with pocket tens here.
Well, I'm dying to see what happens with Mumbai All Stars. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, let's see if they show your man with pocket tens. There I am with 9-4. I think I'm going to make a disciplined fold just like you here, Herman.
Well, you better, since I've learned a bunch from you, so you might as well do the right thing.
Yeah, my good friend Rajiv Kanjani there from Ahmedabad, right?
No,
Bangalore.
Rajiv he's from UP Indians.
Rajiv is playing for UP Indians, but
Yeah.
also based in Bombay, has played a lot with both Herman and me.
Well, Ashok is also quite an aggressive player, and you can pretty much see it's all in on the turn. But what's interesting is how these hands play so different, even though the end result is pretty much standard, as you can see. But the hand plays out differently based on the player profile, even though the position is exactly the same. So in certain cases, we've already seen pre-flop all-ins. In certain cases, we've seen it go all-in on the river. In this
After
case,
check on the turn.
check on the turn. So it's pretty interesting how every individual player it plays it so differently. We have to
And
see.
how teams may also have different strategies at times. So, I mean, I'd expect tens and ace jack to be really standard when it's button versus big blind everywhere.
Yeah.
But with a lot of other hands, you see them play differently, not because of the player, but because of whatever the team strategy in particular cases might be.
I think it's crucial to follow strategy in this game.
This is Aditya Bitti Agarwal from
Jaipur.
Jaipur with king 6 suited. Of course, he will play it on the button. And I think this should be a standard 3-bet.
Yeah, it's Rania Sani. She's the
and-
owner of Pune Kings. Well, I mean, this is an interesting hand to see what.
Yeah, Arman Kalyan 3-bets. I expect Bitti to not give him credit and to 4-bet. Oh, he just flatted.
He flats. He's in position.
Yeah. In regular cash game poker, I'd say it's a good flat. In this format, you have to think that the flat already makes you lose more chips vis-a-vis the other king sixes on the other table. So it might make more sense to use fold equity and just 4-bet right there.
I'm with you totally, and I think for any other team owners and players and captains who are hearing this will probably understand why we've played a certain way over the past few seasons. So for all the viewers out there, so you have to understand when to really fold and get out of hands cheaply, as opposed to costing your team. Like in this case, Bitti, which is Aditya Agarwal, has pretty much put it all in, drawing dead. I guess pretty much on the flop, and he's cost his team a minus 10,000 chips, which I'm guessing would bring him at the bottom.
But it's a button versus big blind king 6 suited. You hit a king on the flop. I'm not completely, I wouldn't condemn it too much.
I mean, listen. In most cases, I would also call that a cooler. If it's it's a button versus a big blind, and you have a king on the flop, unlikely that the other person's also holding a king with a better kicker. So
No, and look at this hand. This is very bizarre for me because a king 10 has actually folded. I wonder what kind of circumstances made a king 10 actually fold on the big blind when. I'm presuming Eka, who is otherwise very solid, raised at some point with 4-6 and got a flat from king 6. And king 10 folded.
yeah, but I think king 10 is just respecting, an early raise from Eka and presuming that king 10 is not particularly a strong hand and will be playing it out of position throughout.
Fair enough.
So I reckon it's a smart fold. Not in hindsight now when you see the final result, but.
No, and that point you made about coolers is interesting. Coolers is not just when two strong hands come up against each other like aces and kings,
Right.
but also when you get into a situation where you have, say, a button versus big blind, and the guys may not have extremely good cards, but there's nothing you can do. You just get, in that situation you play correctly and you get coolered, so
Yeah,
to say.
it's true. Interesting how she's won the hand with King 6, whereas we've seen King 6 actually lose it twice.
Yeah.
So that was, how table dynamics can also dictate the actual outcome.
Yeah, and her team would have got extra points for that.
For sure, because now she's picked up 10 points, where most people, as you can see even on this table, between Abhishek Jalan and of course Manish Nani, we have two practically.
And poor Eka's team would have been the only one to play 4-6 from there, so...
I'm actually thinking, knowing Manish's profile and how solid a player he is, he may just be able to minimize. Well, having said that,
If you put in 3400 pre-flop, if you hit top pair.
he just raised him on the turn, so...
Yeah.
Well,
Though I think this is more this is not so much characteristic of Manish, but of the table image of Abhishek Jalan.
I was just gonna say, I mean, with Jalan, the maverick that he is, one would happily put it in with a 10 as well.
Yeah,
A king would, you'd probably think you're sitting with absolute nuts. So Manish in his head would be like, all right, I'm cooler. I don't have much. And he's bet out 50, which is a very interesting bet.
And Abhishek goes all in. And at this point, of course, he has to call.
Absolutely. Interesting play out. Jazz is such a solid player.
And a wonderful guy to vote.
And there you go. When I said maverick, you know what I mean. True Abhishek Jalan side.
Abhishek's happy. I did something special there, hitting two pair.
You can see Delhi Ace is actually...
Yeah, there you go. You're at top of the table, Herman. How does it feel?
Yeah, considering I'm just a point ahead of you, I don't really feel comfortable, no.
The point is a lot.
We're done with session 1 and Mumbai All-Stars is at the top of the leaderboard. The game is heating up, लेकिन leaderboard का पासा कभी भी पलट सकता है. Joining me right now are 3 very, very special guests. We're going to start with this gentleman right beside me. He's the winner, the owner, and the player from Team Haryana Hawks, Season 2. And then right beside him, we have Rania and Jeetu from the Pune Kings, who are the winners from Season 3. अब चलिए कोई strategies, कोई planning, plotting की है आपने?
We don't really have a strategy. We just go and enjoy ourselves. That's it.
Do you think he's lying?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yes, I think
They're
so
right
too.
on the top right now, and we're looking at them.
Yeah, all eyes on you.
That's why we can't say about any strategy. Everyone's looking at us.
Do you think that your team can do it once again in Season 4? We're going to start with you, Jeetu.
Yes, we can, because last season we came back right from the 7th position to take the cup up.
Yes,
We again there, and I think we need to start again the same way.
बिल्कुल. Rania, tell me, ये जो strategy है इस साल की winning team बनने का, क्या करोगे आप? What is the plan?
We don't have a plan as such. We all are just saying that, we have to keep up the mark. Like of last year, we have to be there and we got to do this. So that's it.
बिल्कुल.
I don't think she's disclosing it, trust me.
She's not disclosing it. I like that, Jeetu. I like that you're not diplomatic. All right, buddy. Season 2 winner, Season 3 से मतलब ये जो ट्रॉफी है वो आपके हाथ से निकल गई. अब Season 4 में इसे वापस कैसे ना कैसे तो ले आना है. ठीक है? तो अगर आपको इन्हें कुछ कहना है तो क्या कहोगे?
All the best.
All the best. आपको अगर इन्हें कुछ कहना है, what
Wish
would
you
you
the
say?
best, bro.
Wish you the
May
best.
the better team win.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. Whichever team wins, eventually Team India is going to be representing us at the Asia Cup. All the very best to you guys. Here are our previous winners. अब देखना ये है कि इस season ये trophy अपने team के साथ घर ले जाते हैं या नहीं.
Well, session 2, hand 1. So far, Mumbai All-Stars leading Haryana Hawks by barely a point, which
Well
is...
done, remarkable performance.
I can feel the sarcasm pour out, Amit.
Oh, no.
That's interesting.
And that's pocket queens.
On the button.
The button.
That's an absolute monster.
And I totally expect Gaurav Gala on the big blind to play back.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens when the hand gets there.
Oh, standard folds, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
3-5, 3-4, 3 deuce. It's a bunch of weak hands. So the battle of the blinds, as we typically say.
Yep.
Oh,
And Gaurav, of course, will not ever believe the button, and he raises, which is perfectly fine in this spot.
Yeah, I don't think Gaurav pretty much believes himself most of the time.
Okay. So 4-bet, 5-bet, and
Wow.
right.
So I don't see this hand playing out this way on other tables for sure. So, here's where I think individual team strategy and, comes into play. Maybe that's the strategy that Bangalore, had decided pre-flop, that if you're going to get, if you're going to 3-bet someone who raises from the button and there's a 4-bet, we basically just go for it.
No, and the other dynamic is that in a normal cash game, Gaurav might 3-bet and then fold. But here, after 3-betting, he might feel committed because he's already put so many chips in the pot, and he might think my team will come last anyway.
So might as well just go for it.
Might as well just go for it. So that could be, one way of thinking about this. Let's see how the same hand plays out here, where they act. Okay, so Awadh of Delhi chose to call in the big blind, I presume.
Yeah.
And now has a gutty.
Well, both are on gutties.
They're both on gutties.
Unless you see the magic turn. Oh, well, we got it. They both hit their straights.
Straight versus straight. Awadh must be celebrating and thinking, I hope he has a big pair, but wait a minute.
Interesting how Kalyan's actually not, I would say, bombarding this with they're really small balling, both of them.
Yeah.
It's a really small pot for the kind of hands that they both are holding. I think we'll see fireworks on the...
I mean, it's a 1-card straight on the board, so yeah.
I think Awadh gets away cheaply here. He's played it very snug and very, very, very well, I would say.
Yeah, and of course he will call because Kalyan could have missed flush draws or so many hands. But
I think Kalyan did well by actually way over betting on the river just to get value for his hand.
But I suspect other teams might have got more value over here in a straight versus straight situation.
Says the Haryana. Says the Haryana.
No, I mean, sometimes it's, if your opponent is playing it slow, there's really not much you can do but bet.
I'm just very impressed with Nikunj folding 4-5 from Mumbai All Stars.
Which just shows
how disciplined Nikunj was.
So out of character, shows that the team discipline you imposed. Well done for that.
This is not a hand I want to see.
Yeah, there you are with 7-8. I wonder what happened. Yeah.
Well, I got away.
You got away. Oh, that's because 4-5 3-bet in this.
Because 4-5 3-bet. So that would be very profitable for Mumbai All Stars. Let's put it that way. Yeah. So it's interesting, right? How a player could play a hand differently, and that would affect the actual outcome of the two players who are actually supposed to collide.
Exactly.
And it works out either in your favor or sometimes goes against your favor.
And you know what? That would have been a legit spot for you to 3-bet 8-7, but small blind came in the way.
Well, I have to respect a small blind 3-bet, and it's very impressive. Aditya has also kind of just let it go on, post the flop.
Yeah. While he could have tried to rep the king with ace king or something.
Exactly. And
barreled
off.
I
think he made a move and then probably gave Ravi the respect he deserves for that hand. Shetty is again a very solid player, so.
Yeah, very good, very aggressive thinking player. So Loveleen of Delhi has aces.
Oh, geez.
You are 7 deuce on the button.
I just hope it's not folded all the way to me, because knowing me, I'm definitely raising that.
Yeah, what do you do?
Oh, interesting to see Reena, the owner of Ahmedabad Hearts, and a very solid player actually. Wow, we got a bunch of limpers there. And obviously Aditya Shetty taking the stronger line. 7 deuce gets away, sir, on the button.
Well played. Though that's because so many people named you.
I must thank Aditya Shetty now that I'm seeing these hands for constantly 3-betting and raising. Yeah. Okay,
so Reena limp calls with ace-9.
Wow.
She could have tried to rep aces, except in this particular spot, it wouldn't really have worked.
Yeah. I'd probably see her fold. Oh, wow. She puts it in.
Shetty 4-bets, that's why. And then aces goes in and she's like committed.
Overcard.
So why not?
Wow. Oh, this is a crazy hand.
They are
I recall this hand now. Yeah. I also know what the end is, but I'm going to keep
And
quiet.
This is one of those hands where it's not going to play out the same way on all the tables, because queen deuce will not be getting involved. Ace-9. Ace-9, if
actually wins.
Breaches the flop, it's never going anywhere.
For sure. If you pick up a flush draw, not flush draw, there's no way you're folding.
So ace-9 versus aces is a cooler. That queen deuce was a bit of a bonus.
I'll have to see because I don't know in that position how many ace-9s are actually either limping in or would probably
I think they might
raise and then fold to a 3-bet, is my opinion.
And it's early position in this format, they might just fold straight off.
I'm very intrigued to know what happens on other tables.
Yeah, well,
That's enough there.
Ace-9 raises.
She's known to be a very strong bluffer. Well, at least out of my personal experience in match IPL last year.
Pratibha folds Queen 2. See, this is why Haryana was top of the table. We fold Queen 2s.
Yeah, sure. Like pretty much everyone else except Aditya Shetty.
Yeah. I did go all in pre-flop on hand with Queen 5, but
I think you got to pick your spots, and if you're committed, then you have to go with it.
Then you have to go with it, exactly. Okay, so is she going to call the 3-bet?
Yes, she does.
And now it's standard, it plays out.
Yeah.
No one should fold either hand here.
Right. And I want to see if Navda actually... Oh, wow. She jams on the flop. Oh, that's an aggressive jam.
Max fold equity, very standard. I mean...
Yeah, well... Not much that Jan could do from Jaipur.
And you can see the points getting distributed. Mumbai All-Stars got 8 points.
Yeah, there you go. Haryana Hawks topping the leaderboard. Mumbai All-Star drops down.
I guess we had a lucky session. What to do?
इस वक्त मेरे साथ है यतिन और रीना गुप्ता, the owners of the Ahmedabad Hearts. Firstly, guys, congratulations. So far, so good.
Thank you.
I hear that Lady Luck is a real thing. And if she was in a human form, she would be right here.
No doubt about that.
Tell me
She
more
is,
about
man.
your wife acing it.
She's Poker Mafia of Bombay, buddy. I mean, she is the player.
She is the player.
No wonder she is like leading top 3 player of the
Absolutely.
tournament as of now.
तो मतलब ये सवाल आपसे पूछना बनता ही नहीं है that which player do you think is shining through in this tournament or the player to watch out for?
Only one. I gotta go home. Also.
Absolutely. Reena, I'm going to throw this to you. Of course, you're doing extremely well so
Thank
far. Are you worried for going ahead? I mean, are there any concerns? Are you keeping your eyes open for any particular teams?
No, not really. You just have to play your ace game. And I'm really excited about the whole thing. Just be very disciplined about everything. That's most important. And yeah, I mean, I'm just loving it. I really would love to thank my sponsors and especially Mr. Raj Kundra, you know, who's come up with this awesome format of Match IPL. And we're all really having a great time.
Absolutely, you're having a great time and you're doing really well.
Thank
अगर
you.
मैं आपसे ये सवाल पूछूं and you've got to answer just straight out, which are the 2 teams that are your biggest threat?
So Mumbai All Stars,
Okay.
yeah.
Harman.
Harman, okay.
Yeah, I guess
And
they
UP Indians, I think, very aggressive. We need to tame them. So.
Well, all the best, guys. We have a lot more poker action for you on the other side of the break. Don't forget to join us only on Match Indian Poker League Season 4, powered by Hot Shots Digital.
बेड तो बहुत ही सुंदर है
है ना? इजिप्शियन डिजाइन, इंग्लिश पॉलिश,
Italian mattress.
आइए ना आप भी. Don't feel shy.
Okay.
सस्ता प्लाई? Why?
लोकल प्लाई पड़ गया ना महंगा. बस कुछ 30% खर्चा प्लाईवुड पे जाता है. उस पे कंजूसी क्यों? वांट सही प्लाई? आस्क ग्रीन प्लाई.
The same way that champagne, if not made in France, can't be labeled champagne but sparkling wine, perfume that isn't made in France felt inauthentic to Vishal. So, to look for excellence, Vishal went to Gas in south of France, the perfume capital of the world. Apart from the unique range of perfumes Vishal created, the brand also offers possibilities of customization. Santibes can help individuals or couples customize their own unique fragrances. It also extends the same service to corporates, clubs, restaurants, spas and others to customize their individual fragrances, creating a unique brand identity for the space. The packaging of the perfume is made in Italy. The bottles are made in Poland, having a distinct cubical shape. The matte black coating outside saves the ingredients from sunlight, keeping the perfume potent for very long. Distilled from inspiration and research, 9 perfumes emerged, all designed to evoke their own distinct persona.
Wins and losses don't define champions. The fear of losing is real, ever present. Like a voice in your head saying, you're not ready. Nowhere to hide, nowhere to run. The odds stacked against you. It's time to fight back. Draw out the noise, let go of the distractions. With every breath, you inch closer to victory or defeat. Before the moment of truth comes the moment of madness. This is that moment of madness.
Welcome back to Match Indian Poker League Season 4, powered by Hot Shots Digital. Here's some interesting poker trivia for you. Did you know that the longest continuous poker tournament lasted 48 hours, 55 minutes and 5 seconds? Now, this took place in the Philippines in the year 2013. It was somewhere between the 13th to the 15th of December. Interesting, right? You know what else is interesting? हमारा Session 3. चलिए जाके देखते हैं कि अरीना में क्या हो रहा है.
Welcome to Match IPL Season 4, Session 3, Hand 41.
Wow. Any more numbers you want to throw in there?
No, absolutely not. I'm a little petrified seeing myself with Ace 2, sir.
Oh.
And Rajiv Kanjani, my good friend, with Aces. I hope nothing happened here.
So Vidar actually played for the first time for Mumbai All Stars. This is the first time he played the format, and I think he held his ground.
I got to tell you, I played a session with him later on, and he was really good, very impressive.
Yeah.
As in fact, your whole team was.
Thank you, man. I don't know if it's sarcasm still. I'm just finding it hard to judge on it.
No, not at all. Ace-2's off, tight fold.
Oh, you make that fold, man. What is going on with Haryana? They're not even playing a hand. How do they come first?
Panjani races, that's why we came first. Hint, hint. Yeah.
Well, you're leading as of now. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Yeah.
Great fold by Vidur. I mean, I'm guessing it'll be standard, but it's always nice to back your teammates.
Let's see what Ashok does with King.
Ashok's a very aggressive player. I don't see him folding at all. He would love to defend this.
He flats with King 8, which puts him in the difficult spot that he's already committed so many chips, 600 pre-flop.
He's also out of position, to be honest. Oh, he just open jams with King Jack Jack. I don't see Rajiv folding this ever.
Yeah.
Right. That's an easy call for Rajiv.
Look at the cherubic smile on his face.
Yeah. He's just waiting to not see another king there. He's kind of holding his happiness. Yeah, there comes the smile.
Yeah. Not thinking at the moment that every team has won with aces. Rajiv, it's not just you.
Yeah, but I don't think every team's got to double up with aces. Let's put it that way.
That's true.
I don't see many king 8s or king X's entering the hand. Yeah, back.
And here you are with ace
on table
Let's see
3.
how you do.
Well, I've already folded. I'm just, so far on point.
Indeed.
Interesting to see Reena actually play this with 6-4 suited. She has taken a different line, I think, in the first few sessions of this match IPL.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, it's very unlike her playing style. So
do you think that has something to do with team strategy?
Oh, absolutely. And that was interesting for me to observe as well, because I mean, you see that she leads out on that board. Obviously it's a stone cold bluff. There's zero equity in the hand, but I think she took a different line. She and I think it paid off initially, and. I mean, in the circuit, pretty much all the players know each other and their playing styles. So when you kind of move away or kind of shift the gear a little bit, I think it throws the other players off. So it threw me and Aditya, who kind of played more closely with her, and then which in turn lets the other table also know that she's not playing her regular style of poker, which means she's being a little more aggressive.
And does that then also give you a hint of team strategy? Because if you see an individual who you know so well deviating from the normal style, doesn't that tell you how their team has instructed them?
Yeah, it does, but it's very tricky, because it could be that she could be the one-off player that they've picked up from their team and said, hey, you know what, you go aggressive because you don't have an image of being an aggressive player, and pick up a few extra points. But that doesn't necessarily mean that all the other players are playing the same way. So, and we all pick and choose our players based on table draws, table dynamics and stuff. So it does get very, very detailed and, specific to each table and each player. There's Minika. She's the rock.
Another disciplined fold.
Oh,
You've really got your team in hand.
Yeah, I don't see Minika going out of line with 10-3 off ever.
Yeah, another cooler situation which should be interesting on all tables. Jujer has ace king.
Yeah.
Cat has pocket kings.
Yeah, this is probably going to play out standard. I mean, Avinash has just got himself, 3-betting light with 5 deuce in position. I'm guessing he'll get away from this.
Or he might think, I have committed so much, but no, he folds.
He's so disappointed with that fold. It's agonizing. It's like he has to fold, like, I don't know, maybe like queens or something. Avinash loves to play pots, and he really maneuvers himself really well post flop. And yeah, this is probably going to be a standard hand across all tables.
Across all tables, yeah. Except, like you said, individual table dynamics. Like, Avinash choosing to 3-bet, which in that spot might well have made sense, except that two people happen to pick up hands.
Absolute monsters.
And his team gets hurt for that, but no fault of his own sometimes. That's just how poker is.
I mean, you'd also end up picking up points if they didn't have such big hands that nobody else does.
Then your team gets 9 points.
Exactly.
So that's really the thinking, and one can't be too results oriented.
Yeah.
That in this case, it didn't happen to work out.
This table seems rather serious, I would say. Oh.
Raises ace king.
Oh, we got Anjali Kochar on this table. I'm surprised she folded 4-5.
Abhishek disciplined fold with 10-3 off. Archit folds. Kings raises.
Kunal's also, a solid player actually, but has the reputation to sort of go out of line once in a while, using his reputation to his advantage.
Yeah.
In this case, it's standard, but in a lot of other cases, I'm sure there are hands where we'll see him use it to his advantage.
And
standard play out.
Very, very standard.
Just love seeing the reactions once they see their hands. Because when you're putting it with the ace king, you're kind of feeling very confident about it.
Yeah.
Then when you see kings, you're like, uh-oh. You're pretty much stuck with the 3-outer. Well, let's see how session 3 panned out for the individual teams. Delhi Aces finally hits a big session.
And Mumbai All-Stars, one more solid session, staying right up there near the top.
Day 1, 3 sessions down. We have just 1 session to go. And unfortunately, the Pune Kings are at the bottom of the leaderboard right now. First things first, what went wrong?
I think the strategy went wrong for us. But yeah, we still have 3 more sessions to go. I'm sure there are chances that we might just come in the race. You never know.
Absolutely.
You never know with Pune.
You just never know with Pune, and you never know with poker. All the very best.
Thank you so much.
We have one last session to go till we end day 1. 3 sessions up, 1 more session to go. You're watching Match Indian Poker League.
Same way that champagne, if not made in France, can't be labeled champagne but sparkling wine. Perfume that isn't made in France felt inauthentic to Vishal. So to look for excellence, Vishal went to Gas in south of France, the perfume capital of the world. Apart from the unique range of perfumes Vishal created, the brand also offers possibilities of customization. Santibes can help individuals or couples customize their own unique fragrances. It also extends the same service to corporates, clubs, restaurants, spas and others to customize their individual fragrances, creating a unique brand identity for the space. The packaging of the perfume is made in Italy. The bottles are made in Poland, having a distinct cubical shape. The matte black coating outside saves the ingredients from sunlight, keeping the perfume potent for very long. Distilled from inspiration and research, 9 perfumes emerged, all designed to evoke their own distinct persona.
बेड तो बहुत ही सुंदर है
है ना? Egyptian design, English polish, Italian mattress.
आइए ना आप भी. Don't feel shy.
Okay.
सस्ता प्लाई? Why?
लोकल प्लाई पड़ गया ना महंगा, बस कुछ 30% खर्चा प्लाईवुड पे जाता है, उस पे कंजूसी क्यों? वांट सही प्लाई? आस्क ग्रीन प्लाई.
Wins and losses don't define champions. The fear of losing is real, ever present. Like a voice in your head saying, you're not ready. Nowhere to hide, nowhere to run. The odds stacked against you. It's time to fight back. Draw out the noise. Let go of the distractions. With every breath, you inch closer to victory or defeat. Before the moment of truth comes the moment of madness. This is that moment of madness.
Well, on to the last session for the day, session 4. The good-looking, charming Amit Verma.
Yeah, like I keep saying, I have a face for audio. And
I've never heard that one before. That's
good Rajiv Kanjani with King Deuce off on the big blind. I'm in the small blind.
Well, Vidur makes a beautiful discipline fall. Mighty impressive.
Yeah.
And oh wow, aces versus kings. Now this, I mean, well, let's put it this way, right? Off the bat, we're gonna see this hand play out pretty much all in all on across all tables. What'll be interesting to see is what other hands actually get frisky and get involved to give the winner additional points.
And here I don't think much of that is going to happen because aces will always raise UTG. I expect Jack 6 off to fold and kings will always 3-bet, so everyone gets out of the way.
Pretty much. Unless someone gets frisky on the button or small blind just to, 4-bet and project
Cold
aces.
4-bet the early position.
Yeah. It's like I'm repping a set pre-flop.
Your team has guys who can do that. Nikun Jhunjhunwala.
You also happen to have guys like Jagdeep and Pratibha.
That's true.
Yeah.
Strangely, both our teams were quite disciplined. I wonder why.
But I think it's important, man. This format really demands you to be disciplined, I think. There is method to the madness even in this format. It's not, you can't just get spew and just keep chucking chips because, you feel that way. So
exactly. And Rishabh from Jaipur, happy to go all in with there.
Yeah.
And aces hold.
Standard. I don't see this playing differently.
Yeah.
I mean, also the board texture is pretty dry, so...
Yeah, so some team managed to lose 575 points and therefore... most of the teams were tied and...
There was just one-off team
which went
But
out
then that one team just falls off the grid completely. For making that one mistake could cost them straight away like 5 points.
Exactly.
And you've been seeing the leaderboards. The difference is really 2 points, 3 points, 4 points.
No, the thing to note there is that whoever has aces in that particular hand where a third guy goes out of hand benefits for, he didn't do anything. He just went all in.
It's a bonus.
Yeah, it's a bonus. Loveleen from Delhi has queens here.
Yeah.
On the cutoff, he raises. What's Reena going to do on the button with queen 10?
That'll be interesting because I've told you she's taken a different line here. And she does.
She chooses to flat. Is Aditya on the big blind going to get frisky?
It's very likely.
With a suited jack?
No. Oh, interesting. So interesting to see how he shifted gears by the fourth session.
Yeah. And small blind flatted with
10-4. Off. Is it suited? Oh, it's off. Oh, no, it's suited. My bad. And interesting defend by Reena.
And she has a gutty.
Yeah, a jack would give her a straight.
She could if she barrels here, she has to barrel twice.
Yeah.
And then she's pretty much committed. But that is nice, isn't it?
I guess that pays off well.
Indeed it does.
I don't see Loveleen folding. He's got a gutty 10 to a straight making with the queen, but Reena already has the hand. And she ain't wasting any time.
Yeah, she goes all in, which actually makes it easy for him to fold because there is enough there that beats him all kinds.
Well, she's gone all in on the river.
8-9 suited.
And
yeah.
Ravi has also picked up the Queen's getaway. Ravi and that's interesting. Did Ravi just call it off for the 4? Wow.
Interesting.
It'll be interesting to see how this hand now plays out.
Yeah, Keenan, very solid player, also based in Bombay, playing Queens here. And
Keenan's an ace restaurateur and a very, very avid poker player. In fact, we've been playing for years now.
Absolutely. And
stuck in this hand.
Yeah, and what do you do in this spot?
Well, I mean, he does have a gutty. It is a big call.
Yep.
He probably could get away, I think.
And given the pot size, of course, Bharat, just go for it. And Keenan finds a good fold.
Brilliant fold by Keenan.
Finds a good fold.
That's probably going to really help his team go up.
Yeah.
Especially in this hand. That's a great fold by Keenan. I guess experience always comes handy.
Well, in this episode you floated. Perhaps in the next episode you will start swimming furiously. We shall find out soon.
I was just worried you'd say it'll start sinking, but never mind.
Well, that's all we have for you from day 1 of Match Indian Poker League. अब देखना ये है कि कल यानी कि day 2 इस ब्यूटी को कौन सी टीम घर ले जाता है and who manages to become the team that represents India at the Asia Cup. Well, that's all we have for you from day 1. Until the next time, this is me, Galen, signing off. Kal we have a very special performance by a Bollywood beauty, Urvashi Rautela.